Don't worry, we'll find out sooner or later.
Well, I don't know so much about that. All the security gates are locked. Mrs. M wasn't going to say anything. I reckon those screws are going to really stop us from finding out who's in there. Must be somebody real important.
Bloody bitch.
I just mean that we need someone who can keep their cool.
Who, like Mel, eh?
Yeah, like Mel. He's got more sense than you'll ever have.
Lousy bitch! Things would have gone real well if it hadn't been for you.
No. Just don't hurt me.
Hurt you? I don't want to hurt you, baby. I just want to find out what you're good for.
No.
Hello.
Mrs. Powell?
Yes.
Senior Detective Lennox.
Have you found her?
I'm afraid not, but we're doing everything we can.
Of course.
I'd like to talk to your son again, if I may, Mrs. Powell.
Robert's staying with his cousins until all this is over. But he'd be at school now.
That's the local Wentworth school, isn't it?
Look, what do you want to talk to him again for?
It's about the car he saw in the lane. We hoped he might remember some extra detail about it.
He's told you everything he knows. It's an E.H. Holden.
Yes, but it would help if he could remember the registration number, or even part of the number. Otherwise, it's a case of checking every car whose owner is a likely suspect.
How many people are there likely to kidnap a 15-year-old?
Too many, I'm afraid. Look, don't worry about it, Mrs. Powell. We'll find her. It's just a matter of time.
We don't have time. Look, she's just a kid. We don't let her stay overnight at her girlfriend's unless we know her parents. She has never been away from home, from the family. She'll be terrified.
I do understand how you feel, Mrs. Powell.
Oh, do you? You've had a 15-year-old daughter kidnapped.
No, but...
Well, then you don't understand, do you?
Are you on your own in the house, Mrs. Powell?
Yes.
Perhaps it would be better if you got a neighbor or friend to come in and stay with you?
No, I'm going to work.
Right. Well, in that case, I'll telephone the prison if there's any news.
Mr. Harold Stanfield, the well-known industrialist, was today announced as the government's candidate for the forthcoming by-election in the Victorian constituency of Pacey. Mr. Stanfield, who is famous for...
What are you listening to?
philanthropic works...
Do you reckon they're going to tell us who they got locked up in solitary?
Oh, come off it, Lizzie. They're not going to tell us. They're hardly going to put it on the news.
Well, why are you listening then?
Safe seat for the government.
Don't tell me
After
you
the weather,
become interested in
Victoria can
politics.
expect a warm, sunny day, ideal for getting outside.
Any day's ideal for getting outside, you twit.
We've got an interesting lineup for you this morning. The Minister for Corrective Services...
Yeah, the Minister's going to talk about B's article.
Oh.
...in the dispatch. Unfortunately, the Minister's running a little late.
I'll bet he's running late. I'll bet he's still in bed.
More likely sitting up in bed waiting for someone to write the answers to the questions for him.
Probably writing the questions.
What's this, a stop work meeting?
No, we're just listening to the radio.
Yes, but the only way you learn anything around here, like, for instance, who it is you've got locked up in solitary.
You might hear that in the news.
That's what we thought you might tell us. Oh, now, come on, you're supposed to be on our side. I mean, got that article out for us and everything.
Yeah. And I reckon old Davo would be really interested if she knew who took out that article.
You're trying to blackmail me, Lizzie.
No, of course she's not. You're a mate. You don't rat on your mates. We do expect them to tell us things.
I will tell you one thing. I'm under strict orders to tell you nothing. Now get on with your work.
Oh, get out. Rotten little jumped-up smart aleck. Well, you'd think he would tell us, wouldn't you?
Nah, it's more than his job's worth. Tell you what, though, if they're so keen to keep it a secret, it is obviously something we should find out.
You bastard. You'll kill me one of these days if you don't get killed yourself sooner.
Don't start again.
It's your fault. You shouldn't argue with me. You know what I'm like. You all right?
What's the matter with her?
Don't worry about her. She won't give us any more trouble.
Get away from me! Get away!
It's all right.
No!
I won't hurt you. I won't let him near you. It's all right. It's all right.
I've got the wheels. It's a real beauty. Hey, haven't you finished packing yet? Don't carry on, mate. It won't take long. Suppose not. Look, I'll put these in the car. You grab whatever you want and we can buy the rest, eh? Right. Yeah, right. Listen, Dad's...
You bastard.
Don't get jealous, baby. She won't be around for much longer.
Then you can type it out for me, huh? Colleen, we didn't expect you in. Have they found Jennifer?
I can't stay home. I'm just going mad, wondering what the poor little thing's going through.
There are no leads at all.
The police think she may have seen some bank robbers make their getaway. So she's obviously been grabbed so she wouldn't raise the alarm.
Well, when they get far enough away, they'll let her go.
When she can recognise them. You know, there's a woman involved. What sort of woman's going to put a young kid through something like this? She even had the nerve to call here looking for me. Wish I'd been here.
It could have been a hoax call.
Nobody knew Jennifer was missing. She's involved, all right. I hope when they find her, she ends up in here.
We've got a lot of paperwork to catch up on. Would you like to handle it? You'll be near the phone then.
Oh, no, I don't want to be alone. I just feel I need to be with people, even if it is this lot.
Oh, can I help you?
Detective Sergeant Ryan, I want to see the governor about the prisoner you've got in solitary.
Right. You sign in, please.
I'll take that, Lizzie.
Oh, I can manage.
Come on, hand it over.
Mrs. Davidson told me to give a message to... what's her name?
What's her name?
Yeah, you know, her in Saltry.
Oh, you mean, what's her name? What was the message?
I forget.
I'll tell you, forgot. All right, Smart. Up.
Thought I told you to buy a car. Ah, what do you expect for the bloody money? I thought you said he was a mate of yours. It's got a good engine, it'll get us anywhere. Yeah, providing the cops aren't chasing us. That's the idea, mate. There's thousands of these on the road. They'll never pick us, especially with the ladies with us. Where the hell are they? Hey, Carol! Get out of here!
All right. Do you want the whole street to hear?
Gotta move on. Well, if she doesn't hurry up, I'll take her back inside. What's the matter with her? Mind your own business. Why is she wearing your clothes?
Police have got a description of her clothes, haven't they?
Right, come on, let's go! Thanks.
You're late.
I had to take a meal to Saltry, Mrs. Powell.
Doesn't take that long. Look, if you're not finished eating by the time the bill goes, you can go without.
Yes, Mrs. Powell.
Looks like Powell's in a worse mood than usual.
They've probably been dragged over the coals because of your article getting out to the newspapers.
Well, it was upset po-face. Liz hasn't been a complete waste of time.
Of course not. The minister's having a terrible time asking questions about it.
What good will that do? If Susie gets out of here easily, then we'll know it's done some good.
What are you talking about?
Oh, there was an interview on the radio this morning about that article that B wrote for the Dispatch.
You're famous now then, are you, B?
Yeah, me and Colleen McCulloch.
Who? I found out who they got in solitary.
Who?
Helen Smart.
You sure?
Of course.
Did you see her then?
No, but I heard Steve Faulkner call her by her own name.
What exactly did he say?
He knocked on the door with her lunch and he said, "Hey, Smart, up."
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, I reckon it was Helen.
Come on, love. She's been in and out of this place more often than a fiddler's elbow. I mean, why would she get special treatment?
Yeah, it's not just some small-time pro that got locked up in there. For taking all this trouble, it's got to be someone really big.
I suppose all these precautions are necessary.
Of course.
Well, we've never had them before when we've had people held here on drug charges.
This case is different. She's a member of a big drug ring. She knows the names, the places, the bank accounts, everything.
Well, I doubt that she'll talk. It would be against character.
She will if she's facing a long enough sentence, Mrs. Davidson. Frightened crims talk.
If the object of this exercise is to frighten her into cooperating, then I'm afraid I'm not prepared to go along with it.
Not even if the department has agreed?
I doubt that they would, but if you like, we can check.
That won't be necessary. Let me explain, Mrs. Davidson. We've been after this gang for months. This arrest was a bit premature. We should have waited until we could round them all up. If they find out that we have her, they could all disappear. Even worse, they could try to kill her. It has happened before.
Then the precautions are for her protection.
Partly. Mainly to help us catch the others. It's vital that they don't know we have her.
What if she should ask to see her solicitor?
Stall her.
I'm afraid that's not possible. It's illegal to hold someone without allowing them legal representation.
Okay. I'm asking for your cooperation, Mrs. Davidson. If she does ask for a solicitor, at least phone me first.
Very well.
Thanks for your help.
Sergeant, we can't have these arrangements going on forever, so I would suggest that you catch the rest of this drug ring as soon as possible.
I'll tell you what, Mrs. Davidson. You don't tell me how to conduct my investigation, and I won't tell you how to run your prison.
I thought that was precisely what you were doing. So that's it. There's to be absolutely no contact between her and the other prisoners, and all her outgoing mail is to be censored.
Well, what about incoming mail?
Well, if no one knows she's here, there won't be any.
Is this legal?
Well, as long as she doesn't ask for her solicitor, it is. If she does, we can't stop her.
And all this becomes a waste of time.
Well, not entirely. It's as much for her protection as anything else. And it is not to be considered a punishment putting her in solitary. She is to be made as comfortable as possible.
What about isolation? There's a lot more room there.
Security is easier to maintain. We're short-staffed enough as it is, although Mrs. Powell coming in has made it easier. Is there anyone at home to take Jennifer's call if she phones?
Well, she knows the number here.
Of course. Well, if there's nothing else, the meeting is closed, except to say that these added security precautions will have caused quite a stir amongst the women. Be careful. There's nothing they like better than a mystery, and they will do anything to solve it.
Maybe we could tap out a message on the water pipes.
Oh, come off it. She would have to have been here for ages to know the code, and she's only just arrived.
That's right. I think the best thing for us to do is to have one of us put into solitary. And we can talk to her through the wall and send the message down here.
Shouldn't be difficult.
It doesn't take three of you to operate the press.
Oh, wonder what's wrong with Mrs. Powell this morning. She seems upset.
Maybe she read the article I had published in the paper.
That's right. They don't mind locking us up for something we didn't do, but if we talk about it, then they get very upset.
Oh, they're so sensitive, you see.
It's all you think about, isn't it? What goes on in here? You don't realize there's a whole world outside. No, you're just not interested.
Oh, we're interested. It's just that we can't get out there.
One more word from you, Bryant, and you'll be put on a charge.
Well, that'd be a nice change, wouldn't it?
Police Senior Detective Lennox is here to see you. Righto. Come on, get back to work.
Well, how come I'm not in solitary?
Maybe we should try something a bit more drastic next time.
Well?
We found the car. It was parked in the industrial area of the city.
But no sign of Jennifer.
No. We traced the owner. We know who we're looking for now.
Well, who are they?
Oh, a couple of small-time crims got in over their head. A man was killed in that bank hold-up.
And they've got my daughter.
We searched the house. The car was parked only a few streets away, very amateur. The house was empty. It looked as if they'd left in a hurry, probably hopping interstate. We've issued a full description to all the highway patrols. We found these at the house. They match the description of what your daughter was wearing when she disappeared. They are hers. They probably made her change to appear less conspicuous when they're traveling. It's a good sign. It shows that she's still all right.
They're torn.
Yes, I'm sorry. But I had to make sure that they were hers.
God, what are they doing to her?
Right.
You rotten bitch. You say that again and I'll kill you.
You take it down! You rotten bitch! Come on now! Break it up! How did this happen?
She started it. She insulted Ronald Reagan.
I bet that really upset you.
Well, I'm an American, aren't I?
Yeah, and it's just like a septic tank to solve everything by
I'll
bashing.
kill you!
Since you've admitted starting it, you better see the governor.
Yeah, big deal.
Ronald Reagan, eh? Wonder what you'll find to fight about next.
Hey, take it easy, mate, will you?
We've got to get petrol, haven't we?
I'll go and try and find something.
need to go to the toilet.
Shut up.
You can't do that, Doug.
I don't trust her.
Well, I'll go with her. All right?
Okay. But just remember I'm waiting.
They're coming.
Try anything and you're dead. That goes for the bloke who runs this joint. Get going.
You go deaf, listen to that racket.
Hey,
See what I mean?
I was listening to that.
Yeah, well, I can't hear myself think.
You reckon Jude'll remember the message tapping code for the water pipes?
Of course she will, otherwise she wouldn't have volunteered to have herself put into solid. What happened?
Bugger all. All I got was 2 weeks' loss of privileges. I think she knew I was trying to get into solitary.
What do you expect when you couldn't think of anything better to argue about than Ronald Reagan?
I can think of something now, Doreen.
Oh, all right, you two. Don't waste your energies. There are no screws around to see. We'll have to think of something else.
Yeah, well, if she knows that we're trying to get into solitary, we're wasting our time.
I think if we do something really serious, they'll have to put one of us in there.
Like what?
I don't know.
3 o'clock. Here's the latest news.
No, hang on, I want to hear this.
The 15-year-old daughter of a Wentworth detention prison officer who was kidnapped from near her Kensington
15
home
years
3
old? Who
days
could that
ago
be?
has still
How
not
lives
yet
in
been found.
Kensington? Right next to
Earlier
where
reports
Lizzie
that the
used to
kidnapper
live.
may
She's got a
have been
15.
connected with the prison officer's occupation have now been denied. Police are now working on a link with an armed hold-up in the Kensington area. During the hold-up, a man was killed. Following a raid on a house in an inner-city suburb, police say they now have a full description of the kidnappers.
Full description? Fat lot of good that'll do after 3 days.
Yeah, by now the poor little bugger will be lying dead in a ditch somewhere.
Hey, where you going?
Back roads, mate. It'll be safer.
Bloody miles from the town. If there'd been any roadblocks, we would have passed them by now. Stick to the highway. It's quicker.
If we're that far out, we might as well dump her.
I don't know. There's still a few people around. She'll be picked up real quick.
I thought you said you wanted to get rid of her. We want to get rid of her, don't we, Carol? Don't we, sweetheart?
Hey, what are you two doing here?
Yeah, you're supposed to be on kitchen duty.
No one came to take us through.
No, I'm not complaining.
Well, enjoy it while you can. You'll be slinging hash in an hour.
I wonder if...
If what?
Shut up, I'm thinking.
Ah, any luck?
Yeah. I wonder if Susie was to write a note and put it on the tray that's going to solitary with the dinner. And then the person could answer it and we'd know who it was.
Oh, terrific.
Think again.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, first of all, the kid's trying to get out of this dump. We don't want to do anything to screw that up, do we? And secondly, how is this mystery lady going to answer our letter? Priority post?
Oh, yeah, I didn't think of that. She wouldn't have anything to write with either.
I thought Mrs. Powell had taken you and Gaffney through to the kitchen.
They've been stood up.
Well, you better come with me now. Gaffney, this way.
Hey, don't forget, Margot, I like my fillet medium rare.
Shut up.
That dame's got no sense of humor.
Shut up, I'm thinking.
Again? Thought I could smell rubber burning.
Want to stretch your legs? Oh, well, you get plenty of exercise when we let you go. It'll be a long walk.
Will you let me go?
Sure. What do you think?
If you don't want to spend the rest of this trip unconscious, you better stop whinging.
I never whinge. Not even about you. What's it going to do to us, Dougie? After you killed Jenny? And what about Mel?
I told you before, if he gets in my way, he goes too.
He's your mate. And Jenny's a 15-year-old baby.
Yeah, and who the hell am I, eh? I'm the bloke who's wanted for robbery and murder, remember? I think I'll tell the kid to start walking now.
Please, Doug.
She won't feel a thing.
You can't do it here. The road's too busy. I'd find the body too quick.
I'm not the mug Mel is, baby.
Better get going, mate.
Okay, get in, let's go.
you reckon they've got in the pound?
How should I know?
Aren't you curious? I am.
And you go and find out.
Maybe I will. All I have to do is get myself put in the pound too, and then I'll find out.
How are you going to manage that?
Well, I haven't had much trouble in the past.
You'll bugger up your release.
I'm not going to do anything that bad. Just something to annoy the screws a bit.
Do what you like. Just don't drag me into it.
Shopping?
I was just getting more sugar for the tables.
And some biscuits for your cell and some dried fruit for a midnight snack? Okay, Susie, unload.
I didn't take much.
In that case, I'll overlook it.
Overlook it? Aren't you going to put me in the pound? On report?
Nope.
But I just tried to...
I know what you tried to do, and it didn't work. Now, come on, finish up. The work bell's going soon.
Oh, what sort of screw's he? He didn't even put me on report.
The smart aleck kind. Looks like we can get away with anything while that shill's in the pound.
Hello?
You all right?
Yes, I'm fine. I just thought it might have been.
Yeah, I know. Lennox tell you everything?
Yeah.
I phoned you earlier at work, but you'd already left. Listen, there was a newscast. I think they're going to be making a run for it, so... Heaven knows where they'll take.
Oh, come on, love. I'm sure the police are doing everything they can. You've got to have faith.
Oh, bloody faith. Who wants that? I want her. I don't know. God knows what's happening to her. Maybe...
Righto, Cole. No, that's it. I'm coming to get you. I want you home.
No, I'm not coming home. There's nothing there. Her room, her clothes. You might be happy to sit around and do nothing, but I'm certainly not. Patrick.
I'm here.
Sorry. I don't know why I said that. Just because I blame myself, I suppose.
You shouldn't.
I'll see you later. Okay?
Yeah.
Time for dinner duty. Look, I can get Steve to take over if you don't feel that you're...
Come on, I'm fine. Let's go.
Pal looks real grim.
Yeah, well, she's got reason.
Hey, Jude, I just tried to get into solitary.
I thought I told you to stay clean.
Doesn't matter, it didn't work.
Yeah, I reckon we'd have to shoot Davo before they'd sling us into the pound.
Well, we can't get away with everything, you know.
No? Watch.
Oh, you stupid bitch! That went all over my foot!
Yeah? You get your hands off
my
me.
shoes! Oh, how did this happen? Well, it's easy. She just poured it all over.
You go and report for this, Gaffney. Yeah? And then what? The pound? We'll find out. I'm telling you now, it won't be the pound for me or anyone else, right?
There are other punishments besides solitary, and I'll make sure you incur them.
Yeah, you would. You don't even know where your kid is, or who nabbed her. And look at you, you're here just as usual, giving out orders and acting like...
You got class, you know that? Real class. You sure know where to stick the knife in.
Listen, I don't need support from you. From any of you.
Get your meals and sit down.
They're all going to go on report.
What's up?
There's been an outburst in the dining room. Gaffney decided to flex some muscle. Oh, she knows she won't go to solitary.
Solitary's never been so popular since Madam X moved in. Susie Driscoll tried for it too.
Right. Well, it can't go on. I'll call Mrs. Davids and ask permission for solitary to be reopened.
Colleen, solitary is out of bounds.
And the prisoners are out of control.
Come on, it's not that bad.
Isn't it? They think they've got us over a barrel. Look, we run this prison, not them, and they're not going to get away with it.
Did you see the look on her face? I really got to her.
Shut up, Margot.
She nearly crashed.
Shut up.
There's got to be a way. I've been in and out of that pound so many times Davo was going to put in a revolving door for me. Now that I really want to get in there, I can't think of a way to do it.
Well, maybe I could fake another...
No.
Well, what about Bea? We could ask her.
No, don't bother Bea now. She's trying to write another article.
Don't bother Bea now. What's wrong with this joint? Looking out for screws, feelings, the top dog's writing for some crummy rag.
Margot, how would you like me to give you a crack on the jaw just for old time's sake?
Yeah, and how about I just get you...
Wait a minute. What about the pipe tapping code? Somebody should know it. Margot, what about you?
Yeah, I know it, so...
So you could be useful for a change.
Have you got an idea?
Mm-hmm. And this one comes with a guarantee.
Colleen, I thought you'd be gone by now.
What? Oh, yeah. I thought I'd better check the reports. Look, according to these, half the prisoners should be in solitary by now.
Look, why don't you go home and get a rest?
I'm afraid to go home. That's stupid. If there had been any bad news, the police could have easily contacted me here, or Patrick would have done.
Maybe it'll be good news.
Yep, maybe. If there is any more trouble, you know...
Just leave it to us. Now go.
Meg, I know I am abrupt sometimes, and I find it hard to apologise,
Then
but...
don't. It's not necessary.
Thanks. See you tomorrow.
Book 2 rooms. And hurry up, we'll be waiting here for you.
No! Carol, let me come with you, please.
You shut up! Hey, take it easy, mate. I'll take you easy, mate.
She's frightened, Doug.
Just don't leave me, Carol, please.
It's all right, love. I won't leave you. Mel?
Yeah?
Mel, could you book the rooms, please, love?
I'll be back in a minute. Will you stop that snivelling?
Be quiet. Just be quiet.
Now listen, I don't want to hear any of that from you tonight. I'll be sleeping with Carol and you'll be in with Mel. I want you to stay quiet, no matter what he does to you.
It's all right, love. Mel wouldn't... He wouldn't.
Yeah, you ought to know.
Fishing about sheets.
Nail polish remover. That's what I could use, nail polish remover. Has anybody got any?
You asking me?
Oh, I've got some in the dorm. Help yourself.
Oh, thanks. Oh, sorry, Mrs. Morris.
Susie, can I see you for a moment? Mrs. Davidson asked me to speak to you about your release. It's not far off, you know.
I've been ready for it ever since they locked me away.
I'm sure. What about a job and somewhere to live? Have you given it any thought?
I'm always thinking about getting out.
But after that?
Boyfriend?
Of course, boyfriends, nice clothes, lots of fun. But I was thinking of more practical things.
I know what you mean. Earning a living and that stuff.
Joanne Slater wanted you to go with her, and I think that would
Oh,
have been...
no, Mrs. Morris, please. I'll be all right, really.
Well, it all has to be arranged before you release. Now, I'd like to help if you'd let me.
Thanks, Mrs. Morris. But I don't know what I could do. I've never learnt anything. Maybe I could work in a laundry.
Perhaps. Well, there's sales work. Something you could be trained in whilst you're working.
Oh, I don't know. I'm pretty dumb.
Now, don't think like that. Besides, it's not true. Got any friends at all on the outside?
All my friends are in here.
Well, what about relatives?
My aunt and uncle don't want to know me. And no one knows who Mum is. It'd be beautiful if you could help me, Mrs. Morris. But anyway, I'll be all right. I know that. I'm going to get a job, and a place to live, and I'll make friends too. I'll be all right, really.
Yeah, she'll be just fine, won't she? She'll go to get a job and she'll show them her papers, and they'll see that her old alma mater is the Wentworth Detention Center, and then they'll just snap her up. Don't you think they'll snap her up, Mrs. Morris?
Don't worry about what Doug was saying. He's always shooting his mouth off. Mel won't touch you.
Can't you stay?
No, love. Try and get some sleep, Jenny. sorry you got caught up in this whole mess.
I knew what I was doing. You'd be all right. You better go. I'll look after Jenny.
Thanks, Mel. You ready to make yourself at home?
What were you doing in there? Putting little Jenny to sleep? Or was it Mel? Was he all tucked in?
Why are you doing that now?
Getting ready for tomorrow.
Ducky, forget about that for now.
Then we'll go away, eh? Just you and me. That's what you want, isn't it? It's what you said. I'll do another job. Only this time I'll do it alone. We'll have all the money we want. We can go wherever we like.
Together. No, I've never looked at another man since you, Doug.
Sure. Why should you?
What about Doreen, Mrs. Morris?
Oh, they're going to put me in the pound, girls.
It's a stupid and destructive thing to do, Doreen. Probably get loss of privileges as well, you know. Mrs. Davidson will get the report in the morning.
Is there anybody there? It's okay, it's only me. It's all right, come on. I said, is there anybody there? Oh, come on. Well, who is it? Say something. Bloody hell.
Well, what's going on, Margot? Who's up there?
Whoop! Is she ever dirty?
Will you shut up? I'm trying to listen here.
No one's going to believe this.
Believe what? Who's up there?
No one's up there.
Well, no one except Doreen. They've moved the other one out.
So she's stuck up there all on her own?
Yep. How dumb can you get? She's not blonde for nothing.
Oh, get out.
You're just going to let him kill me?
Don't talk rubbish. We're going to let you go tomorrow.
Why didn't he let me go today? We drove for miles and there was nothing. No houses, no nothing.
We want to be sure, that's all.
He killed me, you'd be sure, wouldn't he? He's awful. Dirty and awful. I hope they catch him, and I hope they put him in jail forever.
Listen, just keep your voice down, all right?
I've been praying they'd get him. Tell the police everything. Everything he did to me.
Now listen, Mum, that sort of talk is going to do you no good at all. I'll look after you, all right? But we just got to play it Doug's way. And don't you try to escape, because I'm a light sleeper.
He thinks he can do anything he likes. He steals and bashes people and kills, and you let him. Everyone's frightened of him. And Carol's in with him now.
Of course. They're married.
I think he's mad.
How long have you been sitting here?
No, don't, please.
Patrick.
Sit down.
It's late. Come on. Come to bed.
I've been trying to make some sense out of all this. Why this should happen to Jenny, to us.
Well, you can't answer those questions.
I suppose not. It's hard enough to ask them. You were talking about blame this afternoon. It's exactly what I feel right now. Blame.
You shouldn't.
I can't help it. My daughter's been stolen. She could have been being hurt. She'd be frightened, and I was sitting here playing drafts with Robert while my own daughter was being kidnapped. And I was playing drafts. How could I do that? No, she's almost a young woman now. All those years have just gone, and she's almost grown up.
She has grown up. It's very beautiful, too. Because of you. You're a father.
When Jenny comes home, I'm going to take us all away on a holiday. How about that?
That'd be great.
You know, when I was a boy, I always wanted to go to the Solomon Islands. Didn't ever tell you that, did I? Go there if you like. How about that?
Sure.
Just swimming, lying in the sun, as long as we're together. A family, being together.
We will go.
I looked at the map. There are a lot of small roads off the highway. I'll have to bury her, but they'll never find her. Takes a special kind to kill someone, you know. Mel couldn't do it, he'd freeze. Got to be able to act quickly. That's what I did when I pulled the job. Just shot the guard as soon as he started to move. Jeez, it was funny when he dropped. Looked surprised. I wanted to laugh, you know. Anyway, you'll see what I mean. Tomorrow.
Talk about us, Dougie.
Huh?
Tell me where you're going to take us when this is all over.
I've already told you.
Tell me again, Doug. Please, I like to hear it.
Carol?
He used to give me roses. I wish he could again. But that was on the outside, and things were different then. On the inside, the sun still shines, and the rain falls down. But the sun and rain are prisoners too when morning comes around. Last night I dreamed we were together, sharing all the love we'd known, till I had to face the nightmare of waking up alone. On the inside the roses grow, they don't mind the stony ground, but the roses here are prisoners too when morning comes around.